Hi and welcome to the Tech Review channel. So I've got a Draytek Vigor AP912c, which is a ceiling mount access point, and that runs on 802.11 AC. So looking at the box, we can see the package contents. You've got the unit itself, there's a quick start guide, power adapter, Ethernet cable, ceiling mount bracket, and you got T-rail mounting kit and screws. The access point itself is capable of the following. So it's got a concurrent dual band 802.11 AC with 2x2 multiple input, multiple output aerials. You can deliver a speed of up to 867 megabits per second in the 5 gigahertz band and up to 300 megabits per second in the 2.4 gigahertz band. It has a power on Ethernet capable gigabit Ethernet port. However, it can also run off the power adapter and a normal Ethernet cable that doesn't use power on Ethernet capability. It can feature airtime fairness and band steering for better Wi-Fi user experience. There's a built-in radius server, and it can improve roaming experience by fast roaming and AP assisted roaming as well. So let's open the box and just see what's inside. I've opened this before, so some of the items just been repacked. So you've got the access point itself. That's sort of a general look for the AP ceiling mount APs. If we look closely here, we can see that there's an Ethernet port. There's also the power adapter as well. So to access it, you can remove this little plate, and the cables can then run through here depending on how flush this has been mounted. This access point can also be mounted vertically onto walls as well, as indicated in instructions. So you can see slots here for screws to go in, and you can wall mount it on the side as well. We've got a power adapter. That's because I've got a UK unit, that's a UK power adapter that they've just given. It's plugged there, and that's the cable. And then they have written in the template or drawn in onto the actual box itself, so you can literally cut out this piece of cardboard, offer it up to the ceiling, and then drill your holes accordingly. So that's a great way of using the packaging. You've got a small Ethernet cable, so that's handy for setup purposes. You've got mounting brackets. So for these are for T-rails, to my understanding. You've got wall plugs as well. That's if you're going to mount the access point directly into a solid wall. You've got a mounting bracket as well, so if you've got a solid wall or similar installation, you can put on the mounting bracket first and then the access point. You've got certain screws, I think stud walls, so if you've got a artificial ceiling, then you can use that. And then you've got the instructions included itself, so if I just flick through, you can actually see the different methods of installation. So you've got ceiling mount instructions, there's the ceiling bracket, suspended ceilings, got a lightweight steel frame, you can use the brackets there, so the T-rail brackets, and you've even got the wall mounting instructions here as well. It also tells you how to connect the cables, connecting the router, the initial configuration, and then whether you connect it as an access point, how to get into the interface, and even firmware updates as well, which is just there. So all in all, this is a neat package. I have tested this, so it is very resilient. It provides excellent access point capabilities. And then we'll just have a quick look at the interface. Hi, welcome back. So just going to run through the setup of the access point. So if I just type in the IP address that the router has given to the access point, we'll see it presented in the menu here. The default username and password is admin in small letters. I've changed it, so I'll just type the new one in. Save. Right. We're presented with this nice dashboard that shows us the channel load, the light port status. You'll see a flashing blue light here on the actual access point itself. It is a flashing green LED, which you can actually turn off because sometimes it can, depending on where it's located, it can cause a distraction. So the firmware version as of recording this video is 1.3.3. You can upgrade it. So one shortcut of doing is actually clicking on the firmware number. That will take you to the system maintenance firmware upgrade page. On here you can then upload the relevant firmware file and then upload the firmware itself. If you go back to the dashboard, you've got the number of wireless clients that are connected per radio, so that's per the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radios. You can see a channel load on here. It's more geared towards channel 36 and channel 11 for the 2.4 gigahertz. So these are, I think, one of the popular channels. You've got recent activities in the last 24 hours or last 2 hours even. And there's a wireless overview page here. The usage per SSID. So I believe you can have up to 4 SSIDs, which is pretty good. And moving on, we've got the quick start wizard. So that will take you through the process. You can have an operation mode for this as either access point, a mesh route, mesh node, or a range extender. For now, I'm just keeping it simple, so I've kept it as an access point. And you can then go through the steps of the quick start wizard. There's an operation mode as well, so you can manually select which operation mode you like it to be in. Under the LAN menu, you've got the general setup. So the enable DHCP client has been ticked, which means that the router that this access point is connected to has given it an IP address, which is the one I use to log in. You've got port controls as well, so you can either disable the port. And then central AP management menu for the general setup here, so you can enable central AP management. You can log activities, there's overload management, and then status of settings. You've got the wireless 2.4 gigahertz signal option, so there's the general setup. The 2.4 gigahertz line is enabled. In this section, you can set the SSIDs, you can hide them individually as well. You can isolate the LAN for the first one and isolate member. There is VLAN ID tagging as well on here, which is very good. And then you can select the mode as well. So for the 2.4 gigahertz, we've got B, G, and N selected. You can even select the channel yourself or auto select, and it'll find one out. It'll find the best channel for you, and the extension channel if applicable. You've got the security options here for each of the SSIDs. You can select the modes, WPA2, etc. This access point even has a WPA3 mode as well. And then you've got access control, again by each SSID. Up to 4, there's WPS button. You can enable WPS, however, probably recommended not to because there is a security concern with using WPS. There's advanced settings available for you as well. AP discovery options, AP status, bandwidth management, airtime fairness, station control, roaming options, so when you've got more than one access point, band steering, which can be quite useful, and station listings on here along with statistics window just here as well, showing you some data, what kind of devices have been connected to the access point. A similar menu with 5 gigahertz setup as well. And again, you've got WPA3 encryption on the security options just here. There we go, WPA3 personal. access control, or the same options as the 2.4 gigahertz. You've got the radius setting, radius server, certificate management, there's an object setting, device objects, device group. I'm not familiar with all of these options, so I'm just running through what's on the menu. You've got application, you can schedule the start time and end time for the access point. There's an Apple iOS Keep Alive option, a Wi-Fi automatic on-off. You've got mobile device management, so you've got station lists, station statistics for each one, nearby stations, a station control list, system maintenance, so you can click on system status here, and that'll give you relevant statistical information. You can sync the time and date, you can configure, you can back up the configuration. Also use passwords. There's a syslog mail alert feature. So if anything does happen, you can actually allow the AP to send you an email to alert you. You've got a management option here. Allow management from WLAN, and even enable Telnet server as well. Rebooting systems, so you can reboot current configuration settings or default back to the factory configuration. This is the firmware upgrade page that we've seen earlier. There's a diagnostics page which is quite handy. I think the best one here is the interference monitor, which can tell you if there is any interference with any of the frequencies by devices that are nearby. Finally, you've got a support section here as well, so you've got a knowledge base that will take you directly to the relevant internet page on Draytek's website, and then you can register your product just by clicking on the product registration here. So all in all, this is a very good access point. I have tested it. Speeds have been getting or have been a lot faster than the home Wi-Fi units that I've got with BT. So and also coverage is very good as well. So even if you do go into the next room, you still have enough coverage and speed, certainly better than the Wi-Fi system I've got.